Tilly. Mary, my love. I'd like to meet a good friend of mine, Tilly Trotter.
Hello. Hello.
Tilly. Hello, Tilly.
Tilly, I got something for you.
Hey, no heat, Eddie.
Oh, you've been saying your prayers, Tilly Trotter, because I've been saying mine. And I bet you know what I've been praying for.
Well, you'd better keep praying, Hal McGrath, because I've already told you. If the choice is between you and Farmer Tilson's pig, I'll take the pig.
Who's in there tonight?
Saturday, you have no need to worry. You can jig with the best of them.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Ross. I'm so but
You do look bonny, doesn't she, William?
Aye, should pass.
But you should have gone to the church, shouldn't you, William?
Aye. I thought you would have liked to see Simon wed, because there's been no one kinder to you since you first set foot in this house.
I'm sure Simon will be puzzled and a bit hurt, likely. I wish I'd had the chance.
it's my frock.
Your frock? Well, what's wrong with it?
Oh, Gran, look, it's all washed out. It's been turned up and down so many times, it doesn't know whether it's coming or going.
Go on. Get off with your lass. The jollification will be over before you get there. Tell Simon we wish him happiness. And enjoy yourself.
Oh, well. Bye, Gran. Bye, Grandad.
Bye, love.
Hello, Steve.
Hello, Tilly.
Are you fishing?
No, I'm just watching. There's a salmon here. I don't know how it got up this far. Are you off to the wedding?
Yes. Oh, well, best be off or it'll all be over.
You look funny today.
Thanks, Steve.
Tilly, where have you been? I didn't think you were coming. And why didn't you come to church, eh? Come on, come and see Mary. Hey, you remember Tilly, don't you, Mary, my love?
Mrs. Bentwood, I hope you have a very happy life and never want for nothing. And that's from my granny and granda and all.
Thank you. Anyway, as I was saying, I had to have this dress imported, you know. It was actually the muslin, and they made it in the works. I know, I didn't know how much it cost.
Hello, Tilly. Have you seen my husband?
No, Mrs. Ross.
Oh, dear. I was meant to be here an hour ago, but I got caught up with a class. I've got 3 petmen. What do you think of that?
For learning?
Yes. They came of their own accord, said they wanted to learn their letters. They'll be dismissed if their employers find out. But they're like you, Tilly. They want to learn.
But what about the past?
There's a wedding, girl! There's a wedding!
Well, no, you keep your hands to yourself.
Here, Tilly. What are you so solemn about?
Andy Fairweather nipped my...
Boy, he nipped you. You... Oh, come on, Tilly. See the funny side. I bet the ale crept right down into his innards for Andy to do that. The next time you see him claiming kinship the Almighty, you think of him the day. Come on, there's a lad I want you to meet.
Simon.
I'll be with you in 2 ticks, Mary. His name's Bobby. We'll give you a dance. Now go and enjoy yourself. What's the matter, Tilly? This is a wedding, not a funeral. Come on, dance with me.
No, Simon.
Come on, lass.
Simon.
Who says she can't dance? Well done, Tilly. Why, you're as light as a feather. What about that, eh?
Oh, Simon, it was wonderful.
Well, I've got to go. Now, you enjoy yourself. And be happy with me the day, Tilly Trotter.
I'm sorry,
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm off now. I just want to say thank you. It was a lovely wedding.
You'll be all right.
I'll be fine.
Hello there.
Good evening, sir.
You're a long way from home, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I've been to Farmer Bentwood's wedding.
Oh, yes, of course, the wedding. Did you happen to see a lady on a horse?
No, sir. I haven't met anyone but yourself.
Right. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Sorry, mister.
Farmer Bentwood. What is it, lad? What do you want?
It's Tilly. She needs help. There's 3 of them and they're...
Whoa, slow down, lad. What are you on about?
It's our Hal. He said that you wouldn't court him, and he's going to take her down. And then she'll have to have him.
What?
And he said it was something about money, that if he had Tilly, he'd find out.
Oh, my God. Where are they going to do this?
Billen's flat. She goes home that way.
Listen, Mary. Something's come up. I've got to go out for a while.
Oh, why are you going?
It's nothing. It's just a little bit of business, that's all.
Oh, business. On our wedding night. Will that boy want?
You just had something to tell me. I'll explain when I get back. I won't be more than half an hour. Hey, it's been a grand day, and it's not over yet.
I hope not. Don't be long.
I won't. I promise.
Hurry up! So you off to...
Good evening, Mr. Sopwith. Are you looking for me?
No, Lady Myton. You weren't even in my thoughts.
Are you sure about this, Hal?
Oh, I am sure. She's asked for it. Ned, go and see if she's coming.
It's going.
Now listen. Listen, Tilly Trotter. I asked you squarely I wanted to call you proper, but you'd have none of it. Well, now you'll take it. And when your belly's full, I'll come and claim me own. Ah! Oh! Let off her.
I don't like the sound of it.
It was probably some yokel making his lady love squeal with delight.
No.
No. Oh, come on.
Come on. Look after the children for me. Only for a few days.
Oh, yes, sir. I'd love that.
Good. That's settled then. By the way, did you get those packages that I sent to the hospital?
Yes, thank you.
You didn't get them, did you?
No, sir.
bloody lot of thieves. I ordered special food to be sent 4 times. Things are not right in this house, Trotter. Someone will pay for this.
Oh, please, sir, I don't want to cause any more trouble. They didn't like me when I was here, except Phyllis and Mr. Leyburn. The rumours had followed me from the village about me being a witch.
A witch? Well, a very benevolent witch, I'd say. You certainly charmed my children into some semblance of order, I suppose. Would you be good enough to pull the bell for me?
What now? Maybe he's invited her to stay for dinner.
Symes, ask Cook to make up a hamper for Miss Trotter. And have Laban ready with the coach in 10 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Symes, do tell Cook not to skimp on the hamper.
Of course, sir.
I'll give him, don't skimp. Throwing away good food on trash.
What does he think he's playing at? Treating the girl like any cook? Well, I should be going, sir.
Of course. So, when do you think you'll be fit enough to start?
Oh, any time, sir.
Well, by the look of you, I think you need a few more days' rest. Why not take it here?
Oh, I shouldn't come before I'm needed.
Nonsense. You can start on Monday. Would you hold my hand? As I remember, this is how we prepared to die, isn't it?
It is, sir.
You're a good girl, Trotter.
Goodbye, sir. And thank you. I'll be here on Monday.
Good. Oh, Trotter, I'll send the coach for you.
On the table, please, Fred. What's this? Thanks, Fred.
It's all right, Tilly. Right, see you Monday then.
Yes, this lass.
Look at this, Ma. Can I have some cake, Ma?
Tilly, lass. Looks like Christmas has come early for us. Maybe it has, Mrs. Drew. Maybe it has. What else have we got in here? It was strange being back in my old room. And even stranger being treated like a guest. I could only imagine what they were making of it downstairs.
Why should we have to run about after her? All she's done since she's arrived is sit and read. He's treating her like an invalid.
Well, she's probably put a curse on him.
She helped save the master's life. Surely that counts for something.
Why don't you look after her then? Come on!
Are you rested? I'll be glad for tomorrow when the children arrive.
Damn blast you, woman.
You wanted down below.
Very well. Thank you, Symes.
I'm afraid I have some bad news. The children won't be coming. Though my wife promises me faithfully she'll send them next holidays.
That'll be nice.
Which brings us to you. What will you do if you go back to the Drews?
Look for work, sir. That's all I can do.
What will you say if I offer you a post?
It wouldn't work, sir. Them down below would never accept me. They just don't like me.
But if you had authority over them, as Price had... I had in mind you taking the position of nurse come matron come dictator of the first floor.
Them downstairs would never have it, sir.
To hell with them, Trotter. Am I master here or not?
Oh, yes, sir.
So what do you say? Wouldn't you think a girl who was trapped underground and had the courage not to show her fear would have the courage to face a few mean-minded people?
Aye, sir. You would think so.
Well,
I'd be grateful to accept the post, sir.
well done, Trotter. At least we'll have some excitement in the house. Now, go and ask Mrs. Lucas to come and speak to me.
Mrs. Lucas, the master wishes to see you.
Good morning, Saint.
Master Harry.
Good morning, Mrs. Lucas. Is Father upstairs?
Yes, Master Harry.
Trotter, can I introduce my son, Harry?
Sir?
How do you do?
She looks after me, don't you?
I try, sir.
Could you organise some refreshment?
Well, she's a change from the dragon of the nurse you had after the accident.
She's not just a nurse. She's in charge of the house.
Since when?
2 days ago.
Oh, well, that explains the long faces downstairs.
Mrs. Lucas, could you arrange some refreshments for Master Harry, please?
You'll have to ask in the kitchen. I'm afraid I'm rather busy.
Ada, will you please ask cook to make some refreshments for Master Harry?
Cook! What? Message from upstairs. Refreshments for Master Harry. Who's asking? Trotter. Oh. All right.
Will that be all, sir?
Yes, thank you, Trotter. So far, so good.
That's not how I'd put it, sir.
Meaning?
The staff aren't exactly cooperating.
They'll soften once they get to know you.
I might be old by then.
Good night, Trotter.
Good night, sir.
She's a witch, I tell you. A witch.
Oh, don't be silly, cook.
And how else do you explain where the ignorant slut gets her powers from?
She's not ignorant, cook. She can read and write better than Mrs. Lucas, Fred says.
Look what's happened to Parson Ross and Farmer Bentwood. You watch. Next it'll be Mr. Harry.
Did I hear my name being taken in vain? Well, cook?
Yes, you did hear your name. But it wasn't in vain. Well, we were all so glad to see you back and happy in that, in spite of the tragedy. And I say tragedy in more ways than one.
Really?
But things have got to such a pitch here. Well, we can't go on like this. None of us can. It's that Tilly Trotter, Master Harry. 'Tis the trouble she's caused since she's been in this house. Life's unbearable, sir.
In what way?
Well, it isn't right. The position she's in. And from Mr. Pike downwards, we all say the same. And we've got our heads together, and I'll tell you this much. Either she goes, or we all go.
It is my place, cook, to say what the staff have or have not decided. But things are not right in this house, and there's got to be changes, or... well, there'll be trouble. It's got to be settled.
So am I to understand that if Trotter doesn't go, you all go?
Yes, something along those lines, because I'm at the end of my tether.
Very well, then I'll inform my father of the situation. Father, can I have a word? Is, Trotter about?
She's upstairs, I think. Why?
Father, how do you find her?
Find her? What do you mean?
Well, does she, throw her weight around?
Harry, what are you getting at? She's the best thing that's happened to me since the accident. You've heard the witch story.
No, what witch story?
Some of the staff think she's a witch.
Oh, so that's what it's all about.
Well, what's all about?
Well, it seems they all want rid of her.
Go on.
Mrs. Lucas and the cook. I think they're going to present you with an ultimatum. Either she goes or they go.
An ultimatum? Which are on my bloody feet. I'll give them an ultimatum. Well, they can all go. Every damn one of them that won't take Trotter's orders can leave, Harry.
But, Father, it's almost Christmas. You can't leave the house without staff.
Harry, there are people roundabouts crying out for work.
Just think it over, Father.
Go get me a whiskey. In the dressing room.
Everything you need before I go to bed, sir.
Yes, thank you, Trotter. You all right?
The Master wants to see you all. And if you ask me, I think we're all in for trouble.
Now, I understand you have a proposition to put to me. Is that so, Pike?
Well, sir,
He finds it difficult, sir, to talk about the matter.
The matter?
Trotter, sir.
Trotter? What about it?
We all think alike, sir. Trotter's a bad influence. And, well, it gets you bile when someone like the likes of her, she starts to throw weight around.
Well, that surprises me, Cook. I've always found her rather shy.
Oh, Master. People can be taken in. But we know what we know.
Well, Cook, what do you suggest I do?
Get rid of her, Master.
But if I can't?
Well, Master, then I'm afraid you'll lose your staff. And we've served you well for over 10 years.
Yes. Yes, you have. But you haven't served me as well as you've served yourself, have you? In fact, you've all served yourselves well, haven't you? How much have you made, Mrs. Lucas? And you, Cook, I understand, had a special book for your racket. Now, your proposition is that I get rid of Trotter, or you leave. Well, for your information, I'm keeping Trotter. So what does that tell you? You, Symes, you, Mrs. Lucas, and you, Brackett, will leave tomorrow. I will allow 1 month's full pay in lieu of notice. Pike, you serve both my father and my grandfather. You may stay or leave with the others.
It's not right, sir. To be thrown out like this?
Oh, get out! Out!
I can't help feeling sorry.
They didn't feel sorry for you, did they? They would have had you thrown out. No, it's a new beginning, Trotter. And tomorrow, you can do what we discussed.
Tilly!
Oh, hello, Tilly, lass.
You brought nothing today.
Jimmy, cheek. You best sit down.
Mrs. Drew, can you cook?
Well, aye, lass, you know I can.
Good. You're engaged. Miss Drew, would you care to assist your mother in the kitchen?
Come on, lass, what's going on? Don't keep us in the dark.
The master found out he was being robbed and has sacked his whole staff. You've all got jobs in the manor if you want it.
What, all of us?
All of you. Oh, and, can you start tomorrow?
Mind, Tilly. It was a lucky day for us when we stumbled across you.
Merry Christmas, Biddy. Come on, let's move over. Want to hear all about it? Right. Well, we're going to more about it.
Jimmy? Hello, Fanny.
It felt like a new beginning for all of us.
Arthur?
Even for the master.
Welcome, all of you.
I don't think they have.
And what a Christmas it was. Christmas with friends and the past behind me.
Tilly, I'll never be able to thank you enough.
You don't need to, Biddy. You don't need to thank family. After Christmas, with Mr. Harry gone, Biddy got down to the task of getting the house into shape. She set about the place like a whirlwind.
I don't think this has been touched for years. Never mind. We'll have it looking as good as the cottage in no time.
The master took on a new lease of life too, and seemed determined to get back to normal.
Leave me, Puck. I can do this myself.
Are you sure, sir?
Yes, of course I'm sure. Will you get off? Do this on my own.
He even ordered a new wheelchair.
What do you think then, Trotter?
I think it's wonderful, sir.
Oh, what are you waiting for? Come on. Take me for a walk.
Well done, Ada. It looks spotless. All in all, Highfield was a happier place now, and we were looking forward to the children coming home for Easter. Even if it meant the dreaded Mrs. Forfoot Meadows would be back in the house.
We'll continue till the 24th. Oh, Trotter. Well, have you done your rounds?
Yes, sir.
And everything's in order, I hope.
As far as I can see.
Now, as to the menus. As much as I like cook's roast beef and meat puddings, I don't think they'll satisfy my mother-in-law's palate.
We discussed it last night, sir.
And?
Well, Mrs. Drew thought of starting with a white soup, then boiled salmon with sauce, and a roast chicken for the main course. Oh, and a cabinet pudding and custard.
Very good. What do you think of that?
It sounds very appetizing to me, sir. I'm sure Mrs. Forfoot Meadows will be pleased.
Well done, Trotter.
I think I'll just make sure the playroom is ready, sir.
You know, I don't think I've been so happy since the night Harry was born. She's allowed me 3 days with him. It's damnable.
They'll probably make such a commotion you'll be glad to see the back of them.
Yes, as glad as I would be to see the back of you.
I was only trying to lighten your despair with regards to the children, sir.
If you had 4 children taken away from you, what would you do?
If I had children, sir, I wouldn't do...
You wouldn't do anything that would cause them to be taken away, is that it? Well, Trotter, you've got a lot to learn about human nature and the penalties for sin. Some sentences are out of all proportion to the crime. The coach. It's them. Well, go on.
Trotter! Trotter!
Trotter! Enough! Behave yourselves!
I hope you had a good journey, madam. Where is Mrs. Lucas?
She's no longer here, madam.
What?
Where's Symes?
He's no longer in the master's service either, madam.
What's going on here? Stop it! Stop that noise at once! You'll go up to the nursery and change. And don't come down until I give you leave. Go along.
Come and see me later.
What is this? No housekeeper, no footman, the house is all topsy-turvy.
Far from it. The house is being run as it should have been for years. The people who work for me now don't rob me blind.
Rob you?
Oh, yes. From the cook to the gardener, lining their pockets at my expense. Fortunately, we found out about their little game, and now the house runs at 1/3 of the cost.
1/3?
Yes. And the place is cleaner. The gardens are well looked after.
That girl, do you know she was there when I got down from the carriage?
Perhaps she wanted to greet you.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. She doesn't know her place.
Her place? She knows her place, all right. She's running the house and looking after me.
It isn't right. It isn't decent. She's...
Oh, have no fear, mother-in-law. The proprieties are being observed.
I don't like it. And neither will Eileen.
What's Eileen got to do with this?
She's still your wife.
Well, if she's my wife, she should be here. What do you think I've felt like these past bloody months? Being left alone?
I'll not have swearing in my presence.
I'll swear where I bloody well like. And if it doesn't suit you, you know what you can do. But don't you come here talking to me about morality.
Don't agitate yourself.
3 days she's allowed me. I've a good mind to fight her for them.
Don't talk nonsense. The children's place is with their mother.
And her place is here.
Yes, well, you should have thought about that a long time ago, shouldn't you?
What's your name?
Biddy Master. What's yours?
Matthew. What are you making, Mrs. Biddy?
Fairy cakes.
Oh, yes.
With cream on their wings.
Oh, let me have some.
Don't fight now.
You're definitely better than the last cook.
Oh, thank you. No more, as you'll not eat your dinners. Hey, you'll get me wrong off your grandma, you.
For the next few days, the house took on a new life, full of children's voices and laughter. It brought new life to the master, too. Gave him the chance to be a father again. The children loved being with him and wanted to be with him at every opportunity. It was hard to keep them away.
Come down and see, Papa.
Shh, be quiet, all of you. Remember who's in the dining room.
Grandmama.
Yes, Grandmama.
Papa, Luke has a rhyme. Go on, Luke. Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Hold the donkey till I get on. If it kicks, pull its tail. If it piddles, hold the pail.
And where did you learn that?
From Brigwell, Grandmama's gardener. He taught us lots. Papa, can we do another one? It's about Grandmama.
Go on, then.
When I was a laddie, I lived with me granny, and many a hammering she gave me. But now I'm a man, I can hammer me granny, and it serves her right for hammering me.
What is this? Did you teach them this?
No, Mom.
Right. Off you go to bed, children. Go out with Trotter.
Girl teaching them such vulgarities.
No one in this house taught them it.
Where else could they have learnt such things?
Brigwell, your gardener. So I suggest that's the end of that conversation, don't you?
I had hoped to have a quiet talk tonight upon a private matter, but I see that you're not in the mood.
Well, I won't be in any better mood tomorrow. So you may as well just sit down.
It's difficult to know where to begin. Eileen wishes me to assure you that though she is sorry for your predicament, there is no possibility of her returning here. That being so, she wishes to be there and offers you a legal separation. You could settle on her a moderate sum. She thinks this would be to your advantage. Now, please don't get angry, Mark. She is thinking of your interests, too.
Oh, yes. A moderate sum when I'm having to beggar myself to pay her what I do. I gather from the children, she's regained the use of her legs. And she's walking out with a Mr. Swinburne a great deal. Well, you tell your daughter that I'll strike a bargain with her. If she returns my children to me, I will increase her personal allowance.
She will never let you have the children.
Well, then I'm afraid she'll have to live within her means. Or Mr. Swinburne's.
Yeah, I wish I'd seen her face. Babbage is a horrible woman.
I just hope she doesn't take it out on the children.
Oh, the master will put us straight about that.
I know one thing. I'll be glad to see the back of her.
Oh, what's all this about? Oh, fancy wasting your time fighting. What's come over you? I could knock your heads together.
It's because of you, Trotter.
Me?
Luke said he was going to marry you when he grew up, but Matthew said he wasn't because he was going to marry you himself.
Anything wrong? No, they're just having a bit of a carry-on.
They're fighting about who's going to marry Trotter.
Well, they'll have to take that turn because I expect there's a queue already.
Here now, none of that. Say you're sorry to Drew.
I shan't.
Well, then you shan't. But don't expect me to tell your father what a fine fella you are.
Trotter! I'm sorry.
There now.
I don't want to go back with Grandmama. None of us do. Can't you persuade Father to keep us?
It isn't up to your father, Matthew. It's your mother who has to be persuaded to come back. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Now go in for your tea. And tell Drew that you're sorry. Three days wasn't long enough for the children. Highfield was their home, and it was where they wanted to be. The master was distraught to see them go. After they'd gone, he went back into his shell. A depression seemed to settle on him that none of us could lift. He rarely came downstairs now, but spent more and more time alone in his room.
House is so quiet, everyone seems to have deserted us at once. Even Burgess.
His cold was very bad, sir.
Lives on his own, doesn't he?
Yes, sir.
I'd hate that. Living alone.
Well, I don't think he minds it so much, sir. He seems to lose himself in his books.
We should send him some food. Laban can take it.
I'll go, sir. I can be there and back in an hour.
Why not? The fresh air would do you good.
What have I done to deserve so much kindness? All that food, and you clucking around like a mother hen.
I don't take that as a compliment, Mr. Burgess.
Well, you should. The master thinks you're a wonderful hen.
I think your cold's addled your brain. Well, I must be off. Now, you make sure you eat all this.
Trotter, you bring happiness to so many people.
And trouble and all, it would seem.
People bring trouble on themselves, my dear. You just go on as you are, and one day you'll come into your own. Now, off with you. Take care, my dear. Tell them I'll...
Come, Tilly.
I'll never be able to thank you for what you've done for me granny and me, and me granddad. But it's all finished now. From now on, I'll have to stand on my own 2 feet.
Come on, Tilly, we'll talk about this back at the farm.
No, Simon. No, I'm not going back to your house. I'm going to the cottage. I can live in the woodshed.
Don't be a fool, Tilly. Come back
No,
and...
Simon. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right.
Here. So tide you over.
How much money is there left? Of my granddad's, I mean.
Oh, a bit.
There isn't any left, is there?
No.
I cannot take it, Simon.
And how will you live, eh?
Thanks.
I'll pop in and see how you are.
No, Simon. Don't come near me. They'll be watching. Oh, Gran.
You witch! You witch! Burn! Witch!
Hello, how are you?
All right, sir.
Farmer Bentwood tells me you're living here.
Yes, sir. Just for the time being, if you don't mind.
But I do mind. You can't stay here. I mean, for your own good. How would you like to go into service?
Service, sir? I'd like that very much.
Do you know anything about children?
Not much, sir.
Well, I understand the children's nursemaid has left suddenly, in tears, I believe. How would you like to take them on?
Yes, sir. I'll do my best.
Good. Come to the house about 6 o'clock. I'll tell them to expect you.
All right, sir. And thank you.
Oh, I'd reserve your thanks until you've met my little demons.
Oh, it's you from the cottage, is it? Well, you'd better come in.
She's here. I've got eyes in me head, haven't I? You better go and tell Mrs. Lucas that she's here, hadn't you?
I don't think they'd thank me for breaking into their meal.
Sit down, lass. She's the master's choice. Whatever she may be. Would pay some of us not to forget that.
Sit yourself down. You'll be seen to in a minute. What do you think you're doing, Phyllis Coates?
Well, you can see what I'm doing, can't you, Mrs. Brackett? I'm pouring a cup of tea. Live and let live.
I'm not afeard of her charms or any such nonsense.
People never look so bad when you've had a cup of tea.
Maggie, go and let Mrs. Lucas know that the Trotter girl's here.
No need. I'll see to it. Come along, you. It's the girl, Mrs. Lucas. She's come.
Well, let's get this over with. Come on, you.
Now remember, girl, speak when you're spoken to and keep your head down until you're told to lift it.
Yes, Mrs. Lucas.
It's quite all right, Mrs. Lucas. You won't be needed.
Look at me, girl. My husband has recommended you as a nursemaid for our children, but he tells me you have no previous experience. Is that so?
Yes, Mum.
Well, I hope you realize you are very fortunate to be given this position.
Yes, Mum.
My children are high-spirited, and I expect you to control them. How long you remain in my service depends on their reaction to you. Do you understand?
Yes, Mum.
You may go now. Miss Price will show you your quarters.
Thanks, mistress. Thank you, Mum.
This is the children's closet. Jessie, Anne and John are in that room. Matthew and Luke are next to you, and this is your room. Not that you'll be in it much. You start at 6 prompt. First you clean the schoolroom, then your own room. Then you wake the children at 7:30 and see to their breakfast. Your other duties I'll explain tomorrow. Is that clear?
Yes, miss.
Oh, and Mrs. Lucas will sort out a uniform for you. You'll need to smarten yourself up a bit.
Up! Up! All right, I heard you!
Don't you ever do that to me again. Because whatever you do to me, I'm going to give you twice as much back. It's time to get up.
Stay where you are. There's plenty of time.
You'll be in the closet in 5 minutes.